When it comes to deer nutrition, we depend on a 365-day-a-year system. That's why we rely on Big Time.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom.
The Raven Project is brought to you by Big Time. Attract, develop, grow.
That means what I think it means. We're in trouble.
Case IH. Rethink productivity.
Dear Lord in heaven.
Hawk Optics. Vision accomplished.
What a Sam Hill.
Deer Grow. Better food plots, bigger deer. Scentlock, the most effective whitetail gear ever made.
Better find myself some camouflage.
Test it now.
It shouldn't be.
Let me see that thing. What we got? What we got left?
There's nothing else that we can do in here other than spoon, and that shit ain't happening.
Oh no! God! I feel like I'm in prison.
I mean, if you guys remember the last time you saw us, we were doing King of the Raven, having fun, lots of laughs, lots of challenges, just having a good old time. But at the end of the day, man, we're here to manage this place, especially for deer. As fun as the farm is, as fun as the Raven is, it's work and it's a job. It's time to get to work. There's a lot of work to be done. There ain't nothing that we got ever works right. I mean, we got more stuff going on than we'll ever be able to get done, from dozing new plots that I want to get in, to trying to get the maintenance done on this clover. We got the guys from Deer Grow coming out, to building platforms and planting borderline, getting all of our borderline and our plots done. We've got a ton of stuff to try to get done in a very short time.
We haven't got anything done since the King of the Raven. Nobody's been here. We've got borderline to get in. We got to work on food plots, leveling some food plots, get them ready for this fall. We got spraying to do, dozer work. We're trying to put in a few new plots. Not only do we have all this work to get done, but nobody knows where Cody's at. I mean, the boy's a no-show. Nobody can get a hold of him.
Hey, better late than never. The question, the million-dollar question is where's Cody?
That's always the question.
Well,
You should have raised that boy better.
I know one thing. I can't get started without a biscuit this morning. They got
We'll get you a biscuit.
They got
We've already
biscuits
ate.
in there? Y'all have?
Yeah.
How long y'all been here?
An hour?
Oh, whatever. Whatever. I know better.
I feel like we should just rerun the first part of every Raven episode. Me sitting at the Stringtown store waiting on Randy. The boy's a bum.
It don't surprise me he's not here.
Where's he at?
There ain't no telling. Anywhere besides work, he's gonna be as far away from work as he can be.
Man, I've been thinking about this, and it's your own damn fault. So as big of a bum as Cody is, a lot of it's Randy's fault. I mean, he spoon-fed the boy his whole life. Why would he, think he needs to come out here and do some work? It's time to face reality.
I do kind of take partial blame for it.
Well, you
because ever
should.
since the kid was small, he's been spoon-fed.
Yeah. I mean, he's like a dog that takes a dump on your kitchen floor, and you reward him for it every fall.
I know, it's like an insanity cycle, because every year it's the same thing. And I haven't got it yet, but it's clicking now.
Well, it's time.
Like, there's about to be consequences and repercussions. The boy ain't showing up to work, and the boy ain't gonna be hunting the good spots come fall. And I mean it this time. Wherever he decides to contribute, then maybe we'll let him hunt there. Anywhere else, it's goner. It's a goner.
You're gonna have to break it.
We literally need to get posted signs, keep out Cody.
Yeah. He'd be hunting public this year.
Yeah, public. He's gone public.
Public land.
That's right.
Hey, let's get to work.
Let's go get something done. I'm excited.
Kelsey, I need a beer. Kelsey, has anyone seen my wife? Hey, I need a drink, seriously. Hey, this isn't for TV, I'm serious. God bless. Never know what she's doing. let me tell you something. It is Memorial Weekend. I'm out here living the dream. The guys, man, they have been blowing up my phone, wondering where I'm at. I have told my brother for the last 3 months, I'm going to the rivers, and that's just how it's gonna be. Second off, it has rained for 2.5 weeks straight. It is no way you can work on anything. And it's supposed to rain all weekend. Now this is a farming show, and farming revolves around the weather. Boys, you're walking around with computers in your pocket. If you ain't gonna use that thing to check the weather, go buy a walkie-talkie, why don't you? These boys don't even know what a weather app is. They still read the Farmer's Almanac. I mean, where Farmaster Damris predicts the weather for the next 7 years. Boys, it don't work like that. We got pocket radar these days. I have been working a month and a half straight. No cameras are present, but I've been working. Where's my brother? I don't know. Can't call him, can't Google him. I have no idea. I mean, this weekend, I ain't getting off this river. I'm talking about kayaks, horses, burgers, hot dogs, ice cream, gravel bars. I'm talking about the river.
But what I'm saying is let's leave like from here. Let's not start it right at the tree. Let's start it like right here. That way you got all this cover, you know, and where that tree's not just setting right out over the top of the food plot. Most of deer activity should be here to the east of us. Yeah. So I think that's the tree, and I think this is the spot.
Do you want the road to be over here?
Yeah, let's not put the road right to the tree. I think we need to keep the road over to this side of it because there'll probably be deer coming in and out of this road too, so you don't want them walking right up underneath the tree. Dustin's mapping it out. We come in here a couple months ago and we dropped a waypoint on Onyx where we wanted to start the plot, but we didn't map it out. So he's gonna map it out, gonna go grab the dozer. I think it's gonna be a sweet little spot right here. You know, normally we wouldn't put a plot right in the bottom because of the wind swirling and things like that, but in this particular spot, it's pretty level. There's some points that come down, but it's not just giant hillsides on both sides. So the wind will be able to stay true in here, and not hardly any big trees in this spot right here. So the dozer ought to take care of it. It ought to be pretty easy to push this plot in. And we've got to noticing after the last couple of years, we've been running trail cameras kind of on both sides of this bottom and getting some good deer running this bottom east to west. So we're gonna put a food plot in here. We got a deer in here we call Big John that we're kind of building this for, so hopefully it'll work. I mean, call me crazy, whatever you might do. It seems like devoting that much time, energy, and money into building one plot for 2 or 3 deer that might use it seems crazy, but at the end of the day, man, you know what they say, if you build it, they will come. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, man. There's not hardly any rocks in this dirt. Dirt looks good down here in this bottom, so it should make a pretty good food plot. It's a little bit wet right now. It's hard to get enough traction to push these trees.
We can barely keep up with the food plots we've got, and all he can talk about is adding more food plots. For some deer, he's seen twice on trail camera in the middle of the night.
Oh, Dustin's super excited about this dozer of his, but so far I can't tell that we're getting much done. It ain't pushing like it needs to. Can't get enough traction.
I know those boys are, hemming and hawing about their bulldozer, how it ain't big enough. And I've been telling these boys, it is too wet. They ain't getting no traction. You know where I'm getting traction at? The river.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, things are gonna be different this year. You either get down here and help, or you're gonna have to stay out of these spots.
Oh, he's gonna do it. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. He's gonna kill this big deer on it. Man, first off, it's too wet, and second off, I ain't getting off this river.
We ain't gonna do all the dang work for somebody else to be hunting them. That's the way it is.
Oh, my brother, what are you doing? Living space, my life. Smiley.
We come out here with big plans, just like we always do. Nothing ever works the way it's supposed to. It's wet in here. Dozer ain't getting enough traction. We're sitting here spinning, making big old holes. Basically, Dustin's just making a cobbled up mess is what's happening right now.
Do I want it to rain all weekend? Do I want to watch my brother break our equipment and struggle putting food plots in all week? No. But is it entertaining? Hell yes.
You know, our whole plan today was to get this food plot knocked out on the 95, but just like so many times on the Raven, nothing ever goes the way you anticipate it. We got to go down the list and figure out something that we can do with the weather the way it is and with it being as wet as it is. It's time to do something different here.
You want to try to push this out, make it
Yeah,
a
right
path?
here, what I'm thinking, we could push this stuff right here back, and we could almost set that blind right where you're at right there, and then just kind of push a hole out, and then that way when we come in, we can come behind this windrow and climb right up. And then at night, because the way it is, we got to get out of the blind, walk through the food plot to get out. So that way we can slip down, get right behind that windrow and exit without anything.
You want to go ahead and pull this out of here?
Yeah, we may as well pull this blind out. We're changing up our strategy a little bit this year for the buck plot. This is a place that we hunt a ton during the fall. Right around pre-rut, it usually gets really good. Cody killed a big 10-pointer on this side of the plot over here, but we normally hunt it from this bog blind right here. The problem is access. When we built this plot 2 years ago, we put this windrow in here strategically on purpose and kind of lined this whole back of this food plot. That way nothing could enter the food plot on the downwind side. The problem is we didn't leave a spot to enter and exit ourselves without having to get into the food plot. So like I said, we're gonna put a trail in behind it to where we can come in and out of it and use it for concealment. We're actually using this windrow just like we would borderline. So not only is it keeping the deer from entering the food plot from this east side, but also now we're gonna use it for concealment, getting in and out of this blind. So we're using it for a couple different purposes to hopefully make the access better and then keep our deer coming in from where the side that we want them to enter the food plot. So it should work out nice.
Have you heard from Cody yet?
Man, he left some kind of voicemail a while ago. He's talking about some farmer matrix, farmer domtrix, almanacs. I don't know.
Farmer's Almanac?
I have no idea.
There's no way
he was
knows
blabbering
anything
so
about
fast.
The Farmer's Almanac.
Bottom line, he ain't coming. He ain't making her. Well, He's just too busy. He couldn't find time in his schedule to come help.
We're probably better off without him.
What I think is make the platform, make the platform pretty much the height of this brush, and then we could just put that bog blind on top of it.
Yeah.
And then we can just take a bunch of leafed brush and just heap it over, and it'll look just like it's an extension of this windrow.
Good. I think
now
we'll
if we can
get out of here without being detected.
Oh yeah, I mean if you're right here in the blind, I mean, you hop down out of the back of the blind right here, and then you're behind the brush and walk all the way out without getting seen. The way that you doze this path out too, it'll be easy walking right out behind this windrow. I think it's perfect. Access is key. You know, when you think about access, essentially our food plot is a supermarket. So what are you gonna do whenever you find out that your crazy ex-girlfriend that you got a restraining order on is shopping at the same supermarket? You're probably gonna stop shopping there. But what if she's creeping on you from the next aisle over? You slide that can of beans to the side and she's looking right at you and you don't even know she's there. That's what I'm talking about. You got to think like the crazy ex-girlfriend.
The Raven Project is brought to you by Outdoor Edge Knives, Field to Freezer, and everything in between. Hooeyman, your land, your legacy. On X Hunt app, know where you stand. Baker Implement, trusted equipment of the Raven Project.
Man, as important as access is and getting these places set up with the right borderline in the right places and the windrows, using them to our advantage, we have got to get on this clover. We've got clover spread all over the Raven. We got to get to work.
So Randy's gonna sit there and tell you how important clover maintenance is, but you're looking at the maintainer.
Get money, get money, get money, get money.
One of the key things about clover is just keeping it mowed and maintained. Spray it a few times a year and it's ready to go.
I think one food plot that's super overlooked, but it's crazy important to me is clover.
Fast cars, gold bars, fast love, rock stars.
Number one, a perennial is nice because if you take care of that perennial plant, you're gonna have it for up to 5 to 6 years going forward. But the other thing and the other benefit of it is it fills the gap in that deer nutrition. So before summer green up comes and before all the natural browse is found, our clover plots are rocking and rolling, man, and our deer are fat and happy. I mean, it just goes to show you whenever you set these plots up to be able to literally hold a deer 365 days a year. It worked on the Kansas 8 with having that foundation clover down there and combining that with 2 to 3 acres of long range. We kept that deer. We were getting him on camera all throughout the summer, early fall, right on into the rut whenever I finally got a shot at him. Utilizing the products from Deer Grow, we have seen our food plot program just blow out of the water the last 3 years, and to the point that our food plots don't even look like the same plots they did 3 years ago. Planting foundation clover into long range to hold a deer in one specific spot. I mean, Cody wouldn't know anything about that. He ain't never hit.
What's up, man?
How's it going, fella?
Watch out, she's a little muddy.
She is, yeah. I'll probably have to back in here or however you want to do it.
Good deal, man.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Thanks for coming out.
Good to see you. Heck yeah.
Good to see you, man.
My man Colton Smith is coming in from Deer Grow, and this guy amazes me every time he shows up on the farm because the kid is literally like a mad scientist when it comes to nutrition and it comes to these products from Deer Grow and what they do and why they do it. It's unbelievable the knowledge that he has when it comes to this stuff.
I'm Colton Smith. I'm with AgriGrow and Deer Grow, and I'm here at Randy's farm, The Raven, today, bringing him some plot boost, some plot till, some plot start, helping him just get everything mowed down and some things sprayed out today.
I tell you what, man, it looks pretty dang good.
Yeah, it's improving year after year too. Every time I come out here, the clover looks better. There's a lot of new growth coming in as well, so.
I do feel a little bit bad about missing my buddy Colton, but my brother, man, he makes him come out and say the same stuff every year because he just, I mean, I guess he can't read a manual. I mean, he can't remember how to use this stuff. Poor Colton, man.
So this is about the 3rd or 4th year they've been using the products, and it's a super easy product to use. I mean, you just dump it in your tank, just read the label, and it seems like every year I have to come out here and show them how to use it though. I mean, I don't know if they just don't know how to read, check their emails, look for instructions, but.
I mean, this Deer Grow stuff, it's like riding a bike. It's literally effortless to use, but he makes Colton come out, you know, in the rain, the wet, the mud. You know, I do feel bad about it, but I'm at the river, boys.
So another really good benefit about the plot boost and the plot start as well is they're going to help break down what's already there in the soil and what you put down as well. There's been university studies that show that plot boost, it can help increase what's already there in the soil into a plant available form by 30%. Because half of what's already there, well, more than half, a lot of what's in the soil, the plant can't use. It's just not in a bioavailable form. So when you add this product into the soil, into the plant, it helps break that down and increase the uptake by 30%. So that translates, especially in today's times when fertilizer costs are just through the roof, you get to back down on your fertilizer inputs and using it more effectively what's already there, and
right.
You're backing down 30%, and it's still like you're using the proper dosage.
Because a lot of guys that go out and get dry fertilizer and put it down, a lot of that's getting wasted because the plant and the soil is not actually being able to utilize that full amount.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So with this, you can almost supplement what you're doing on the dry fertilizer side.
Exactly. So you're saving lots of money on input costs, buying NP and K, and
dry fertilizer is 2 to 3 times higher than what it was a couple years ago.
Correct.
So that everybody's about saving a little bit of money.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, we're pretty limited here on the Griffin field on trees that we could get stands in, and that's kind of why we're setting it up differently this year. After we hunted it last year, we had some good encounters in here. Hosey killed a good buck in here, but most of the movement was to the south of where we could get a tree stand in. So we're gonna use borderline and kind of create some funnels and some pinches. And we're gonna set up a couple elevated platforms and actually probably hunt it out of bog ground blinds this year more than anything, just from what we saw last year and where the deer movement was. I jumped on my phone, I got on onX, and I actually used the tracking feature on the app to go around the perimeter of the food plot, see exactly what we had to work with as far as size goes for where we were going to be planting the different blends of Big Tine. And I actually laid out the perimeter of the food plot and then laid out where we wanted our borderline, and could see, you know, how much we were going to have to work with on both sides of that for what blends of Big Tine we were going to put in there for this fall. It ought to work out slick.
Out here working. Look, on his damn phone. Non-stop. I mean, I got to put up with him and Cody.
You know, whenever I think about the Raven and kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together and kind of learning it over the last couple years, the Griffin field is one that really sticks out in my mind. You know, we've had a lot of encounters in there. Hosey killed a good buck in there this year. But after hunting it a couple years, you know, we've really realized as many encounters as we've had and as many deer as we've seen in there, it needed some tweaking for sure. We're out on the Raven today and we're coming up with a new strategy for the Griffin field here. This is one of our bigger plots on the Raven, close to 4 acres, and a plot that we've hunted quite a bit the last couple years and had good activity in here, but we've only got one set of stands over here to the north of me right here. We got about 1.5 acres of clover on that side of the road, but what we've noticed is the majority of the movement has been on the south side of the plot. We really don't have a tree or any way to hunt it from that side. So we come in here today, dust and disc this up right here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay it out with borderline and hopefully be able to create some pinches and some funnels here. But we've got a strip of borderline right here running east to west. It's probably a little over 200 yards, and we'll make a big gap in it right here in the middle, and we'll have one platform to the east of the gap and one platform to the west, and that way we can hunt it pretty much on any wind. We think by getting out here and getting in this borderline and creating the funnels and the pinches, we'll be able to make pretty much a little kill hole out of it whenever we're done. You know, like I said, it was developed for access, but you can really use it for edges and to manipulate deer, cut holes in it, cut notches in it, create pinch points and funnels. I mean, the sky is the limit for this stuff. If you're standing right there where you guys are at with the cameras, I'm probably gonna want that blind right in this area right here. That'd be about a 20-25 yard shot. So I'm gonna put a line right here because we're not gonna plant this gap. We'll plant it with our brassica blend. So I'm gonna draw a line right there, and I'll probably make it the gap probably 35 to 40 yards wide. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be nice right here, man. This is going to create a good little pinch, and it'll be wide enough so they don't feel like they're choked down too much or pinched too much. So it ought to work out about perfect. The cool thing about the borderline is, and putting the holes in it strategically, is those bucks will have to come through those holes to see out into the other parts of the food plot and to be able to check does out there. So you're kind of creating more movement within the food plot itself once they're here, you know, on this destination plot. So it'll hopefully create, you know, some funnels and some pinches to where it'll make it pretty much a little kill hole, we're hoping. Hey, what'd you do with them posted signs?
They're in the back of the mule.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm about to post this sucker up.
Are you really? I'm proud of you.
I've had it, man. I've had enough. I said I had enough.
I thought you had enough 2 years ago.
Well, we should have had enough then.
It's time.
He's gonna stay his butt out of these good spots.
That's right.
I'm gonna get him. Yeah, he's gonna have to be going to the old public.
Hey, put them in that tree stand.
Hey, look here. I got this many.
Oh, we got plenty, son.
You dang right. I mean, from the time we started trying to put the new plot in on the 95, to the Griffin field, to maintaining the clover, to planting the borderline and everything in between, I've been calling him nothing. So I got one thing to say, bud. You're out.
As I write on the seat, July 4, 2016, in my shorts, bread in my pocket, I could cop soda pop with at least this.
Things ain't gonna change. When these cameramen leave, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do all the work, and I'm gonna kill the biggest deer. And they gonna hate. They hate us because they ain't us.
Randy's on the right track, and changes are coming. I can't wait to see the look on Cody's face. I mean, it's like this. I'm doing all the work. I ought to be the one holding all the antlers this year.
They make fun of me about living my life, but the real problem is those boys don't have a life. All they do is sit around, talk about the price of lumber, their hemorrhoid cream, and urine problems.
Y'all have to jiggle it quite a bit.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you.
Dude, I have to jiggle it, and it gets on my hand.
Like used to I could go and it'd be done. Now I gotta sit there and just.
Dude, I jiggle it, it gets all over my hands, and then I put it in my pants, and I think I'm done, and it runs down my leg.